Okay, that feeling. You know what I mean. You're just completely lost in something tricky, right? The keyboard's going, the problem's starting to make sense, maybe the words are just flowing. And then you look up, and hours, literally hours have vanished. You weren't just like pushing emails around, you were making something. Your brain felt alive.
Yeah.
That state, that intense focus, that's deep work. And that's what we're diving into today. We're going to unpack the best bits, the really actionable stuff on how to get more of that focus and achieve, well, frankly, better results.
Yeah.
All based on some excellent source material.
And it's so important we do this now. I mean, really focusing hard, that ability, it's becoming incredibly rare.
Yeah, it feels like it.
But at the same time, it's becoming super valuable in the economy. We're swimming in this ocean of distraction. Everything is designed to pull our attention away.
Totally. Notifications, pings.
Exactly. So the people who can actually resist that, who can learn complex things quickly and produce really high-quality stuff, they're going to be the winners. They're the ones who are deliberately, maybe even ruthlessly, fighting that scatterbrain trend.
Okay, so let's draw that line then. The source material insists we separate two kinds of work. What are they?
Right. So first, you've got deep work. This is when you're fully focused, no distractions, on something that really takes mental effort.
Like what? Give us examples.
Writing code, drafting a big report, maybe working through complex research, designing something new, the heavy lifting stuff that actually pushes your main goals forward.
Got it. The stuff that requires real brain power. And the other side, the thing that eats up most calendars.
Ah, yes. Shallow work. This is all the stuff that doesn't really demand intense focus. Logistics, answering routine emails back and forth, those endless status meetings, scrolling feeds, reacting to every single notification.
It feels like being busy, right? But it's not necessarily productive.
Exactly. It keeps you occupied, but it doesn't usually create significant new value.
It's kind of wild how much time gets sucked into that shallow stuff just to feel like we're doing something. So why is nailing this difference between deep and shallow so critical right now?
Well, there are really three big reasons. First is learning, or mastery. Modern jobs need us to pick up complex skills fast. Deep work. It's simply the quickest way to do that. Intense focus accelerates how fast you learn.
Makes sense.
Second, and this is huge, it's about the quality of what you actually produce. The source material gives us this mental formula. High quality work, time spent X, intensity of focus.
Okay, time spent times intensity of focus.
Yes. And the key thing is that intensity part. It's not just adding, it's multiplying. So if you can seriously crank up your focus, you might get the same quality output in, say, half the time.
Wow, so one really solid hour could beat a whole day of just fragmented attention.
Absolutely. It genuinely can. It flips the whole script on productivity.
Right, it's not about hours logged, it's about focus achieved.
Precisely. And the third reason, it's about, fulfillment. The argument is that deep work doesn't just lead to success, it actually makes life more satisfying.
How so?
Pushing your mind on something meaningful, getting into that flow state, it creates a sense of purpose, pride. You're actively creating, not just passively consuming information. It feels good.
Okay, the benefits are clear. Compelling, even. But how do we actually do it? How do we shift from wanting deep work to actually building it into our lives? Because, let's be real, it's a big habit change.
It is. And this is where it gets practical. The source material argues the main problem isn't that we don't want to focus. It's that we rely on willpower.
Which is notoriously unreliable.
Exactly. Research shows willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired. It depletes through the day, especially with all the small decisions we make. Trying to just focus harder at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Yeah, that's usually when the snacks come out.
Right. So rule number 1 is all about structure. Work deeply by building systems. Forget willpower. Design rituals and environments that make focus almost automatic. Take the decision-making out of it.
Okay, systems and rituals. Like what specifically?
Well, things like scheduling specific blocks of deep time in your calendar. And treat them like important meetings non-negotiable.
Defend that time.
Fiercely. But maybe even more important is having a clear start ritual and an end ritual. Before you start, decide exactly where you'll work, for how long, and what single specific thing you aim to achieve in that block.
Prep work for the focus.
Yes. And critically, shut everything else down before you start. Notifications off, phone on silent and out of sight, email closed, unnecessary tabs gone. Create a clean slate.
The source also mentions something called grand gestures for when the usual ritual isn't enough. That sounds dramatic.
It can be. A grand gesture is basically using a significant, maybe even costly commitment to signal to yourself and others that this deep work time is serious.
Liking a hotel room for a day just to write.
Exactly. Or maybe taking a whole week off email to finish a major project proposal. It's an investment that makes distraction almost impossible. It forces the focus by changing the environment drastically. It bypasses that tired willpower muscle.
Okay, so we build the fortress, we schedule the time, we have our rituals. But then the work gets hard or boring for a second, and that instinct, that twitch to just check the phone,
Yeah.
it's strong, even with notifications off.
Yes. That leads perfectly into rule number 2, which is probably the most counterintuitive one. Embrace boredom.
Wait, embrace boredom. Most advice is about filling every spare second productively.
Whoa.
Why deliberately seek out, well, boredom?
Because, as you said, focus is like a muscle. Think about it. If every single time you have a tiny bit of downtime waiting for coffee, standing in line, even a 30-second pause between tasks, you instantly whip out your phone for a hit of novelty.
Which everyone does.
Right. You're actively training your brain to crave constant stimulation. You're conditioning it to hate being unoccupied. So when you finally sit down for that challenging deep work task, your brain just rebels. It wants that dopamine hit it's gotten used to from quick checks.
So me checking Twitter while the kettle boils is actually making it harder to concentrate on that report later?
Precisely. You're reducing your capacity for sustained attention. So to strengthen that focus muscle, you have to practice tolerating boredom.
How? Just stare into space.
Sort of. Schedule short periods where you intentionally do nothing stimulating, just sit and think or look out the window. And crucially, during your actual work blocks, when you hit a natural pause or a difficult spot, consciously resist that urge to switch tasks or check something.
Train yourself to sit with the discomfort.
Yes, you're building tolerance for non-stimulation. So when the real deep work demands it, your mind is okay with sticking to the task, even when it's not immediately rewarding.
It's a big internal shift.
Yeah.
But the external world keeps buzzing.
Which brings us, I guess, to rule number 3. Quit social media. That sounds extreme to a lot of people. It sounds extreme because these tools are designed to be addictive and omnipresent. But the approach suggested isn't just anti-technology for its own sake. It's fiercely pro-attention. It's called the craftsman approach.
The craftsman approach.
Yeah. The core idea is to ask yourself, honestly, does this specific tool bring significant positive value to my core goals that clearly outweighs its negative impact on my attention?
And that negative impact, that distraction cost, isn't just the time spent scrolling, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. That's the visible part. The real killer is what's called continuous partial attention. Even a super quick check fragments your focus. Research shows task switching leaves behind attention residue.
Attention residue, like mental clutter from the last thing you looked at.
Exactly. Thoughts about that email or that notification linger, and they degrade your performance on the next task you turn to. So using these highly distracting tools, even briefly, reduces your overall ability to do deep work even when you're not actively using them. So the craftsman approach says, be intentional. Identify your main professional and personal goals. Then, for each tool, assess its net impact. If it doesn't clearly help you achieve those high-value goals, or if the distraction cost is too high, then seriously consider reducing its use or just quitting it altogether. Use only the tools that truly serve your deepest priorities.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense when you frame it like that.
Yeah.
Be ruthless about the tools. So we've tackled the mind, the external digital noise. What about just the sheer volume of everyday tasks? The admin, the meetings. Rule number 4, drain the shallows.
Yes. Shallow work, the admin, the logistics, the endless email chains, it's like a gas, right? It will naturally expand to fill all the time you give it. If your day is unstructured, shallow work will eat it all.
So the solution isn't just to work longer hours to fit it all in?
Definitely not. The solution proposed is, well, pretty intense scheduling. Basically, schedule every minute of your workday.
Every single minute. That sounds incredibly rigid. Like, what happens if something unexpected comes up? Client calls, a meeting runs over.
Right. It sounds rigid, but the point isn't necessarily to stick to the schedule perfectly, like a robot. The act of scheduling forces you to be realistic about how long things actually take.
Okay. It's the planning itself that matters.
Yes. It forces you to confront trade-offs. You have to assign specific, limited blocks for shallow work. Maybe only check email twice a day for 30 minutes each time. Cap the total hours you allow for it.
Which forces you to be more efficient during those shallow blocks.
Exactly. It makes you batch similar small tasks together, like answering all non-urgent emails in one go. And crucially, it gives you the justification to start saying no, politely but firmly, to requests that don't align with your deep work goals because your schedule is already full with high priority items.
You're protecting your time like the valuable resource it is.
You absolutely have to. And this scheduling has another benefit. It helps deal with something called the Zeigarnik effect.
Zeigarnik effect. What's that?
It's our brain's tendency to keep chewing on unfinished tasks. Those open loops constantly intrude on our thoughts and drain mental energy.
Like remembering you need to email someone back while you're trying to focus on writing.
Precisely. But when you schedule, when you will deal with that shallow task, even if it's tomorrow afternoon, your brain can kind of relax about it. It knows it's captured and has a slot. That frees up mental bandwidth right now for the deep work you've planned.
Okay, that connects everything beautifully. So we've got these 4 big rules demanding quite a shift. For someone listening thinking, okay, I'm sold, but this sounds like a lot, how do you actually start tomorrow? What are the first manageable steps?
Yeah, don't try to overhaul everything at once. Start small. Rule 1 for starting, protect just 60 to 90 minutes tomorrow. Just one block.
Like a meeting with yourself.
Exactly. Put it in your calendar. Tell people you're unavailable. Treat it as non-negotiable. Just start with that one small island of depth.
Okay, doable. What else?
Second, measure your depth. At the end of the week, look back and honestly ask, how many hours of true deep work did I achieve? Not just hours at the desk, but hours of intense, focused effort.
Focus on the quality of the time, not just the quantity.
Right. That number becomes your key metric. Track it. Try to slowly increase it. It keeps you honest.
Good one. What's step 3?
Implement that shutdown ritual we talked about. This taps into managing that Zeigarnik effect at the very end of your workday before you truly switch off.
Don't just slam the laptop shut.
No. Take 2 minutes. Write down any lingering tasks or the main thing you need to tackle tomorrow. Get those open loops out of your head and onto paper or into your task manager. Then, and this sounds a bit silly, but it works actually, say a phrase to yourself, something like, shutdown complete.
Seriously, say it out loud.
Or just firmly in your head. It acts as a clear signal to your brain. Okay, you can stop thinking about work now, time to rest and recharge. It helps prevent that work stuff from bleeding into your evening.
Okay, protect time, measure depth, shutdown ritual, final step.
Make sure you're applying this hard-won focus to things that actually matter.
Yeah.
Deep work is powerful, but it's wasted if you spend it on trivial goals.
So aim high.
Yes, apply it to that challenging project, that skill you want to master, that business you want to build, something meaningful. That's where this whole approach connects to what the source calls the deep life philosophy.
The deep life philosophy. It sounds like more than just productivity hacks.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a fundamental shift in values. It's choosing consciously focus over noise, depth over distraction. It's deciding that your attention is your most valuable asset and allocating it accordingly.
There's a great quote related to that.
Yeah, clarity about what matters provides clarity about what does not. Once you truly identify what's important, what drives real value and fulfillment for you, it suddenly becomes much easier to see all the shallow stuff for what it is and to let it go.
That really reframes everything. Okay, so let's bring it home. What does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, first, deep work. It's rare, it's valuable. If you can cultivate it, you gain a huge advantage. Second, focus isn't fixed. It's a skill you train. And weirdly, practicing boredom is key to strengthening it. Third, rituals and systems beat willpower every time. Design your environment, schedule your time. And fourth, less shallow work doesn't mean less gets done. It usually means more meaningful work gets done. Drain the shallows to make space for depth.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Imagine what your life, your work, your creative output could look like if your best thinking wasn't constantly being interrupted by trivial pings and administrative busy work. The real question isn't just how do you find more time, it's about a more fundamental choice you make minute by minute. Are you choosing creation over consumption? Are you choosing depth over distraction? Making that choice consistently, that's probably your greatest competitive edge in this increasingly noisy world.
Choosing creation over consumption. That's powerful. A lot to think about there. Thanks for this deep dive.